What's going on, guys? We're back at it again with another episode of TruCapacity Talks with James Gillespie. And today we have a solid individual that is actually involved in a ton of shit. He goes by the name Reclaim Your Throne. And there's a lot of sides to this guy, right? Fitness, both in coaching and his own wild ass in the gym. Also, real estate, doing a ton of other things. So first and foremost, dude, I wanted to just open up and ask you how you doing this weekend.
I'm good. I'm good, man. I'm happy to be on the show and appreciate you for giving me an invite.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I appreciate you making the time. So I kind of want to walk back, man, to where did fitness start for you? Like, obviously, you didn't come out of the womb just jacked out of your mind. Like, where did it start with you, and why did you jump in so heavy?
I've pretty much been playing sports since I was a kid. AAU basketball, YBOA, Pop Warner football, track and field, a little bit of baseball, but that was like in my later years. Um, I've always been playing sports. I've always wanted to stay active. So I think that, coming up playing all different types of sports, it just got me accustomed to wanting to move around, wanting to be outside. A lot of times nowadays, you don't see the kids playing outside anymore, but like that was pretty much my life growing up. So I try and keep that energy that I had as a boy when it comes to exercise and, just being consistent. So that's kind of my origin story, just playing sports and being under different coaches, traveling across the United States with basketball and football. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
I mean, playing all those sports, is there any reason why you didn't end up pursuing basketball and ended up pursuing baseball? Or excuse me, not baseball. Goodness, football instead.
Well, football, the thing about football, you can be 5'8" and still like make an impact on the field. In basketball, hell, now you got to be like 6'3" as a point guard to, make an impact on the court. So, I basketball was definitely my first love. But I knew that I would probably have more opportunities playing football just because of my speed, my strength, my size, and the different positions that you can play on the football field. Whereas basketball, it's like the shortest position is a one guard, and I mean, hell, in college you got to be at least like 6'2" to play point. So that's kind of why I shifted toward football over basketball.
Yeah, and the football. I mean, you mentioned a couple leagues or a couple designations in football that I have no idea about. You said something about pop.
Yeah.
What is that kind of thing, and how far did you end up going on football?
So Pop Warner is just it's just like it's almost like AAU basketball, but for football and just for like the younger demographic and whatnot. So I played Pop Warner, I played rec ball, I played high school football, and I played college football at University of Georgia. So I just kind of continued my football journey into college.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. When you were back playing in high school, did you and Savon go to the same high school?
No, so he went to Campbell High School in Smyrna, and I went to Clark Central High School in Athens.
Oh, dang, I didn't know you were an Athens native. Like
Yeah.
from the
Yep.
ground up, dude.
Yep.
That's
Born and
wild.
raised.
Had no idea. So you get to Georgia. Did you come on Georgia scholarship, walk on? How'd you get on the Georgia team?
So I had an academic scholarship and I walked on to play football.
Okay. And how'd that go? From like day one, walk me through what that looked like. Cause I know you didn't stay on the team, you didn't stay playing.
Mhm.
You went a different direction. But I mean, what was it like coming into at that time, the football team, obviously still being a big SEC team, but not what we are today, right?
Yeah. So it was pretty cool. I got to experience the Rick era and the beginning of the Kirby era. When I walked on, I did a lot of training beforehand, and I ended up making the team with another guy. If I'm not mistaken, the other guy I made the team with was Carson, not Carson Beck, obviously, but it was a D lineman. But anyways, it was awesome. just playing and meeting all the guys and having that camaraderie, it was definitely it definitely helped me in my journey because it taught me discipline, organization. I mean, I already kind of had these qualities, but it definitely was cemented playing at Georgia. And I got to kind of see how different coaches ran the organization, and saw a lot of changes go on, and that kind of represents what we are today. So it was definitely awesome to be a part of that.
Yeah, and at the time that you walked onto Georgia, what position did you walk on at?
So when you walk on, they kind of just throw you at any position, but I ended up being a defensive back.
Okay. Did you enjoy that? And is that what you played in high school, or you play on offense?
So I played both sides of the field in high school. Like obviously I would have preferred to be on offense, but when they tell you you got to be somewhere, then you kind of just go there and don't complain. So I was just trying to do my part and be able to fit in wherever they needed me.
Yeah. If you had to go back to that tryout and the training leading up to the tryout, would you change anything?
Um, I would probably do more long distance running.
Really?
because like I had the speed thing down, like everybody was impressed by my speed. And then my agility change of direction. But once like the first summer workouts, it was just something that my body was shocked into it. So like the first summer workouts, we're running 110s, and if you don't know what 110s are, we're pretty much running the distance of the football field. And we had to run 24 110s. That's when we had our strength and conditioning coach hockey. And I just remember, we're running 110s, and I'm not used to running 110s. When I was doing the training, I was I wasn't running 100 meters, but I was probably running like a 40-yard dash over and over and over again to kind of, you know, get that down. But running those 110s, it was just like a different level. Now, like I do it with ease, but going into it, it was definitely something that I had to like take a weekend, and I'm like, man, I'm not keeping up with the rest of the team, so I got to go on my own and train harder. So the first week, 110s was definitely a struggle for me, but then that weekend, I just like stayed that whole Saturday. I went to the IM fields, and I'm just like running 110s back to back for like 2 hours. Then come Monday, I'm in the groove of it. So I would just say I'll probably if in my training I would have probably ran like more 100-meter runs and then more 200-meter runs and maybe even 400-meter runs, because we also ran curves, and that was like crazy too. So definitely more cardio.
Yeah, that's I mean, I guess for me, not being on the field at that level, like being in high school and playing stand up Y and doing a little bit of like outside linebacker, we never ran that much. Dude, our endurance did not have to be up there. I was not really worried about sprinting up and down the field all day every day.
Right.
Kind of hang in the pocket, right? Just chilling. That is kind of wild. How did that all end up at Georgia for you?
So it was good. I like you said, I did end up taking another direction because I was really focused on business at the time. I was doing my music business. I was doing a lot of mixing and mastering. I probably mixed and mastered for like most every local artist in the area. So I had that going on. And then I was getting into my real estate journey. I had that going on. So at the end of it, I was just kind of tapped out, and I wanted to focus on, my career and entrepreneurship, and really the direction that I wanted my life to go. Because although I probably could have, you know, um, I probably could have competed in the NFL, but from my perspective, I just, kind of wanted to bet on myself, when it comes to business. And I already had those foundations set up. So, but like everything that I endured and everything I went through with the football team, like it was awesome. All those guys, I still know all those guys, and made like some connections that I'll have for the rest of my life. So, I definitely appreciate the process, and I'm still in Athens, and still hanging out with the team, just in a different capacity.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So, I mean, before you try to get in at that level, collegiate level, right? It's not really playing Pee Wee anymore. It's not like a random high school,
Mm-hmm.
um, team there. Were you already doing Olympic weightlifting? Were you already clean and jerking? Were you already doing box squats with 185 on your back? Like, were you already doing that kind of stuff when you try to come
Um,
on the team?
so beforehand, I was doing some training at the Ramsey. Like before I walked onto the team, I I was actually really good friends with uh Jordan Jenkins' cousin, and he like we went to high school together. And Jordan Jenkins, he was a D lineman for us back in the day. I think he plays for the Jets now. But I got like some workout tips from him on what I needed to be prepared for. So I was pretty much doing what was what the football team was already doing. I was just doing it on my own, and obviously the pace was a little slower because I'm taking maybe 60 seconds in between rests. When I play football, it's like 30 seconds in between rests. So the pace was a little slower, but I was pretty much doing this very similar workouts. When I was at Clark Central, we had a pretty good strength and conditioning staff. So I was already doing like Olympic style lifts and those core lifts. But I think playing for the team, it showed me a more creative side in how to blend different workouts, and really uh, really get football motions or sports specific motions in the weight room.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think a lot of people people get the idea that the gym just looks like a bodybuilder. The gym just looks like can't touch my back, can't jump up on a step, can't step down with one foot. Right, I just need to be looking like C-bum walking around, but no mobility at all. And I
Right.
think that we maybe got it wrong there. When you left the team, did you find that you jumped straight into coaching people after that, or had you had a roster prior?
So when I left the team, I went and worked with the Boys and Girls Club. So I was working in elementary schools all across Atlanta and Gainesville area. And basically, yeah, I mean, I went straight into coaching. I was coaching a lot of elementary school kids, and just really trying to make an impact there. I got an opportunity from one of my music buddies. He's a guy that I've had, play some drums over a couple of my tracks. And he was just like, man, I think you're really going to love it, working with the Boys and Girls Club. So I did that for a couple of years, but then COVID hit and they pretty much shut down all the elementary schools. So that's when my journey with the Boys and Girls Club kind of ended. But during that time, I was taking clients, I was doing personal training clients, and balancing working with the Boys and Girls Club, and then balancing my personal training business as well.
Yeah, I mean, through all that, man, it sounds like for the amount of time that I've known you, you've had tons of irons in the fire, right? And a bunch of different shit at not a low level, right? Like if you're gonna jump into something, you're gonna do it. How the
Yeah.
hell have you stayed in the same amount of shape that you're in right now through all of that?
Well, definitely just time management. Like I always, every time it was like time to stop playing sports, like in high school, there's this moment where it's like, okay, am I gonna play college ball or not? And when I went into college, I wasn't in that mode of, okay, I'm gonna play college ball. Like I didn't play my freshman year. I walked on my sophomore year,
Mm-hmm.
but I decided my sophomore year that it was something that I wanted to pursue, just because I was just so heavily in shape, and I thought I would, or heavily into fitness, and I thought I was in really good shape. But once I joined the team, I realized, okay, there's good shape, and then there's pristine shape, right? Or elite shape if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so basically, yeah, like between those journeys, I kind of figured out that it's about time management, making sure that you're waking up at a decent time, and getting your work in early so that you can have the rest of the day to decide for yourself what you want to do. And I think the biggest thing about it is just time management, because a lot of people like to make excuses. I can't get to the gym, or I don't have time. And then you ask them, hey, what time do you wake up? And they're like, oh, 11. Well, I mean, you might have to wake up at 7 a.m. if you want to get a good workout. So that's just something that I've continued to practice since I, left the football team, is just like waking up early and getting my work in before everybody else wakes up.
Yeah. Do you ever find yourself when you are in a time crunch though, doing any calisthenics or running and like doing a decent amount of muscle ups like at an apartment gym or a gym close by? Like if you can't get all the way to crunch or can't get to a bigger, like more
Mm-hmm.
built out facility.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love going to the track and just doing like body weight stuff, jump ropes. I use the hurdles a lot to do different workouts, and I'll set up, a little obstacle course and whatnot at the track, and then I'll do some cardio as well. So especially when COVID happened, like I was at apartment buildings running upstairs and doing like one-legged hops upstairs just to keep in shape, and then I'll go, run a couple miles and come back. So I definitely, I'm definitely not just closed off to just working out in the gym. I pretty much like to work out anywhere, and a lot of times I prefer the outdoors. So
Yeah. Like your story the other day, man, walking 10
yeah,
miles to a prospect meeting.
yeah.
Just hang it out. I saw that and started laughing.
Yeah,
Uh,
the funny thing is, like, the good thing about being a local is
mm,
is like when you're walking and people recognize you, hey, you need a ride, you need a ride. I'm like, nah, I don't want to get your car seat sweaty. So I actually had like three people offer me a ride. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to spend that time with myself. And yeah, I mean, it was a good walk.
yeah. No, I hear you there, man. Where do you think just overall in fitness or in people's own journey? I mean, where do you think we're getting it wrong with health and wellness? Like big things. Where are we getting it wrong? Where does Keaton say, you know what? Fuck the industry. This shit sucks.
Yeah. I think the biggest issue is just accepting every type of like, every type of mode. Like, obviously, when I was training, like, I trained people who were overweight and whatnot. And obviously, like, nowadays you have like body positivity and like this acceptance movement and whatnot. And I'm not saying that you can't be comfortable in your own skin, but I think that's one of the most detrimental things in the health and fitness space right now, because really fit people are parroting these talking points like, oh, well, you can still be healthy and be 300 pounds. And I mean, hell, the only way you're going to be healthy and 300 pounds is if you're like 7 feet. So I think the fitness realm in general is getting it wrong there. And just like accepting everybody is not the move. Like, there needs to be a hierarchy. There needs to be a chain of command, if you will. And we need to be able to acknowledge, okay, this is healthy and this is not. And I think everybody's just trying to paint a broad brush and say everything's healthy, and it's just it's ruining people's lives, honestly, because it's making people complacent and making them believe that they don't have to change.
Yeah, it's kind of like condemning people by saying that they're good just the way they are. Like you don't
Yeah.
have any growing to do intellectually. You don't have any growing to do fitness wise or health wise. Kind of condemning people there. I mean, who do you think's responsible for that? Is it pharma? Is it big influencers? Is it our doctors? Is it us? Is it everyone?
I think it's definitely coming from the top down, because like if you look at, I was just watching like these videos of PE classes in the 60s, and they're doing like military, paramilitary training and stuff like that. It's like, damn, everybody was a Marine back then. And then now you look at PE classes. I know even when I was in high school, it was elective. Like, do you want to work out today or do you not want to work out today? And nowadays it's even more elective. Like, I was thankful that I had a coach who was like, we're not doing that elective stuff, whatever. um but then you would have some people who would just like get a doctor's note from their parent and sit out. But yeah, I just think that it's coming from the top down. And then I think that especially people on social media, because they don't want to lose money, because they don't want to be seen as a bad guy. They don't want to get canceled. Then they're just like, oh yeah, well, yeah, you're right. Everything's healthy, and it doesn't matter how fat you get. You're still healthy and you're still beautiful, and that's just not the case.
I think it's definitely, you can tell that it's not the case that everyone thinks that all of those people that are unhealthy are beautiful. Otherwise, everyone would be wifed up or have as many partners as they want doing whatever they're
Right.
doing. So I
Right.
think that that's some evidence there regardless. But I guess I'm curious though. Is there any reason why you still train? Like you're about ready to jump back into the league? Like is there any reason why you don't just like take it down, maybe push for, maybe get into powerlifting, or maybe get into like go destroy CrossFit or go destroy a different sport?
That's a good question. I mean, I just like being ready for life. I always want to, I want to keep my same intensity, and I want to be able to do the things that I was able to do, back in the day, or I just kind of want to maintain that level of athleticism. So that's why I still, go as hard as I do, because, it helps me feel young. Like I still feel like I'm 18, man. Like I don't feel like bones are cracking or anything like that. Like I don't, I just enjoy working out. I just enjoy pushing myself to the limit. And I think a lot of people have kind of lost that art, especially in the gym. I see too many people taking too many breaks, sitting down on benches and stuff like that. And I never wanted to be that guy. So
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. Is there any particular split that you follow that you write for yourself? 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, get it in every day outside of the random days where you can't? Is there anything
mhm.
specifically that you've been following there?
Yeah, so Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I do weightlifting. So on Mondays I do like chest and arms. So I'm focused on like increasing my bench press and whatnot. Tuesdays and Thursdays I go to the track, so I'm doing a lot of cardio. I mean, I do cardio every day, but it's more of a focus workout. But Wednesdays I do usually I'll go between like boxing or like some agility work, like ladder drills, box jumps, whatnot. And then Fridays I go like heavy legs. So um you know a lot of times it'll be like kind of general um workouts and stuff,
Yeah,
but I kind of have like a whole array of workouts.
yeah, more compound movements or isolation work.
A little bit of both, honestly.
And are we talking, volume wise, closer to like 5 by 5 blocks or 3 by 8 to 10, more of an aesthetic style there?
um so yeah, mostly looking for like aesthetics, but at the same time I'm also trying to like gain strength.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You ever do any reverse pyramids or anything?
um you said reverse pyramids?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like a regular pyramid, you're
Oh
going
yeah, I
you're
see what
going
you're
up in
saying.
weight, but
Yeah, yeah.
reverse pyramid, you got heaviest set first.
Yeah. So what I'll do is I call them ladders, but basically I'll start with like um high reps, and then low weight, and then I'll go down to low reps, high weight, and then I'll go back up. So that's kind of
So
how
do
I do
both
it.
sides of it. Okay,
Hmm.
yeah, no, that makes sense. Have you? I know you. You pretty much have a regimen that you're going kind of day in day out. But I mean, have you thought about jumping in and trying to compete in CrossFit? Like, I really think the crossover it's close. It's so close,
Hmm.
and you're way more agile than probably 99% of CrossFit athletes, anyways.
Hmm.
Have you thought about jumping in there and competing?
So I haven't really, but a lot of people have told me that I should.
Yeah. Like if you're gonna be doing box squats at 405 and you're gonna be doing box jumps with weight on your back at 185 to 205, I'm pretty sure that you could throw a 20-pound wall ball for 100 reps in a row, no problem.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that you could do some muscle ups, especially with the strength that you got. Like I think it'd be
Yeah.
very interesting if it was something that you were ever open to.
Yeah, I definitely have muscle ups in my routine. So
Yeah. Well, that's definitely interesting. Is there outside of your kind of week to week on the fitness side, is there any, I know you said boxing, but do you ever get in and roll over at SPG or at Megalodon or like jump in and do any kind of combat stuff?
so I haven't yet. Most of the stuff like I kind of been doing like, well, back in the day we used to do like backyard fighting and stuff like that. But um no, I haven't done that now yet.
Any aspirations to doing that kind of stuff or not really?
Yeah, no, I'm definitely interested, but I think what is that joint called? The spot on Macon Highway, off of Macon Highway?
So on
X
Macon Highway,
it's
there's a
X something.
Megalodon or there's a straight blast gym, SBG.
Yeah, yeah. I think their membership's like 120 a month or something like that. So I was just like I wasn't ready for that yet, but
Yeah. No, that's
I'm
kind of like
definitely
CrossFit
interested
memberships
though.
too. Same kind of
Yeah.
thing. They're just like 100 to $200
Yeah.
across the board. No, that makes sense, man. So as far as outside of just training for day to day, like be ready for kind of anything, is there any other big fitness goals on the horizon? Any maxes you're trying to hit that you haven't touched or some stuff that you're trying to retouch?
Well, I'm trying to get to 450 on my bench right now. I'm 425. Um,
Jesus. For
yeah,
one?
so
425 for one right now?
yeah. So I'm
What's your
trying to
body
get
weight?
to 200 pounds.
Holy shit. And how tall are you?
5'8".
5'8", 200 pounds. You know,
Mhm.
you're literally the same body type as the last 7 CrossFit Games champion winners.
Oh shit.
They were all 5'9", 5'8" to 5'9", 195 to 205. The last
Wow.
7 years in a row.
Wow.
All 3 of them. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I might need
200
to do that
pounds.
shit then.
Damn. So you're probably pretty dense right now, then, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think I wear it pretty well, but um definitely seen my shoulders broaden up,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't changed like pant size or anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're probably not gaining fat, man, with the amount of
Yeah.
cardio you're doing. And that brings me to the next question. I mean, the like you as an athlete, right? You probably don't eat like most people do when they're out in the gym doing this, that, and the other. They're just gorging on supplements. Like, what does eating look like for Keaton?
Um so I do a lot of intermittent fasting. So I'll get a lot of times I won't even eat breakfast in the morning, or I'll get like something light like an apple, and then come back from the gym, won't eat till dinner, honestly. So I'll probably have like 1 or 2 meals a day. When I was bulking, I was doing more than that, but right now I'm kind of like in this maintaining phase, just trying to stay between 190 and 200.
Damn. Okay. And mostly whole foods,
Yeah. Yeah,
not
so I'm
vegan though,
doing a
right?
lot of no, I'm not vegan. So I'm doing a lot of protein. Um I mean my girl cooks for me all the time, so she can like whip up a interesting dish, and she, I mean, she's a great cook, so she kind of goes all over the place with it. Like so one day she'll make a meal from Tokyo, and then the next day she'll, make some American cuisine. So definitely spoiled for choice in that.
Yeah. Where did you used to when you were cooking for yourself kind of have the same meals all the time?
Yeah, relatively. Like I would do chicken on Mondays, tacos on Tuesdays, like ground turkey tacos on Tuesdays, and um Wednesdays I would do like steak, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but I would like kind of keep the same routine.
Kind of keep it structurally similar.
Hmm.
That's kind of how I eat too. If a woman's not cooking for me, I'm not going fancy. Like
Yeah,
I'm gonna just keep it basic, right? We got some
yeah,
fruit, we got some fat, we got some animal protein, we have some sort of carb, and we're just rocking, and that's it.
exactly.
Not doing all this craziness with all this extra sauce and all this shit.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen. I'm not gonna take the time at all. Supplementation, right? Number one, natty or not,
Natty.
natty, lifetime natty,
Yeah.
like not even bucked up or any of that kind of stuff when that came out.
Nah, I've never. I mean, honestly, like a lot of people accuse me of taking PEDs, but it's like, at what time could I really have taken PEDs? Because I played high school sports. We got tested because I went to a 5A school, so we really got tested. And then I took a year off, and then I played Division 1 sports, and we definitely got tested like every week. So like people always try and oh, you must be on trend, you must be on this, oh, you must be on gear. Honestly, I ain't even know these little code words for steroids. Like I genuinely, I'm like, what the fuck is trend? What the hell is gear? I had no idea until like people started accusing me of being on it. I'm like, okay, let me look this shit up. And then I'm like, oh hell no. Nah. I literally had, I mean, the only drug that I've ever done is weed. So
Yeah. No, and it's interesting because I'm sure with the density that you have, right, being about 200 pounds at 5'8", I'm sure that you get accused a lot. Like the bigger you've gotten on social media, I'm sure more and more people are saying trend, Anavar,
yeah.
TRT, et cetera, et cetera. But that's definitely dope. You never touched it. Do you think in the future, like when you're an old man, gray hair, right, balls are sagging, do you think you'll get on TRT or anything?
I would probably try and go toward a more natural route. Just trying to find maybe supplements or increase testosterone through diet. I'm not really big on needles or any shit like that. So I couldn't see myself putting a needle up my ass. So yeah.
You have you heard about the new wave on the peptides?
Mm-mm.
Okay, yeah. So like it's basically a lot of them are think stem cell between stem cells and steroids, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
a healthy mix in between that are just
Mm-hmm.
injectables, like localized injections. They're regenerative for tissues,
Mm.
but it's all the craze now, man. Huberman and a bunch of other people have been talking about them. Rogan takes them. Tons of people are walking science experiments. But it sounds like, man, if you're not even really taking supplements, like regular supplements, I can't
Mm-hmm.
imagine you'd be jumping straight to a needle.
Yeah, yeah. Like I mean, I don't do vitamins or protein shakes. I mean, I used to when I was trying to gain more weight, but um I don't know, the cost of milk nowadays, hell. Every time I eat my protein shakes, I'm pouring up half a gallon of milk. So I
Yeah. So you
I
find go ahead.
I just kind of cut it out and just doing more intermittent fasting and just trying to get protein in and I mean, I just eat when I feel like I'm starving,
Mhm.
you know. I try not to eat when I'm full or if I don't feel hungry.
So kind of legitimately paying attention to hunger signals as we did back in the day before all this
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, pretty much like once my stomach starts growling, I might say, okay, I'm not really let me smoke a joint, and if I'm not hungry after this joint, then I'm not really hungry. So that's kind of how I play it. I kind of play it by ear, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, with cannabis use, are you also kind of same thing when you get hungry with water? Because a lot of people are just thirsty, right? And they start eating like
Hmm.
hell. Do you do the same
Hmm.
thing with water? Drink a little bit of water too, and kind of see
No,
what's up.
so water, I try and drink as much water as possible. Um, like if my pee isn't clear, then I'm doing something wrong. That's kind of how I feel. So I'm definitely like I'm the guy who's walking around with a big ass jug of water.
Do
So
you
yeah,
That's
I know
funny.
everybody has that guy in their gym. That's me. Yeah.
100%. And a lot of times they're making fun of them, but I can't imagine that people are necessarily throwing shade at you walking around the gym. No,
Yeah, no.
not really saying too much.
Not
Um,
really.
you're also not probably engaging in 500 conversations about a bunch of random shit with people in the gym too. I'd have to assume that
Yeah.
when you go to the gym, you're there to work, your head's down, you're doing your shit, and you're getting out.
Yeah, like I mean, obviously, it's repeat people that I know, friends
Mhm.
and stuff like that that I see. Hey, how you doing? Give them a little dap. But when people see me, they know I'm there to do work. If they do want to have like a long form conversation, usually it's more questions on what do I need to get this, or how do I get my abs right or whatnot. And a lot of times they don't really like the answers that I give because they're like, oh man, I got to do that to get. Well, I don't know if it's worth it anymore. But yeah, when I'm in the gym, pretty much all business. Usually gonna be in there with a partner, and anybody that I'm working out with, I want to teach them good habits. I don't want, them to see me sitting there and having, 5-10 minute conversations with somebody. And then they think that's okay. That's an okay way to work out. Cause you can do all the conversating after or before you get started, but once you get started, no distractions. That's kind of how I like to do it.
Yeah. Give me an example of someone's like, hey, Keaton, now I want an 8-pack, man. I want my core to look like yours. What is an answer that you give that people fucking hate?
Cardio. I'm gonna say cardio every single time. But a lot of people are like, okay, long distance, and I'm just like, no, sprint, 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 engage your core, strain your gut is what they used to tell us on the football team. And that's going to be the best way to not only lose weight, but it's also it's a full body workout. You're working your arms, you're working your legs, you're working your core. It's going to be the best way, in my opinion. Obviously, you can do dietary things. Everybody's going to say, like, every time I say, especially on social media, you have these experts on social media, and they're like, okay, how do people get in my comments? How do you get abs? How do you get abs? And I'm like, cardio, run sprints. And then you always have somebody in there. No, it's actually a calorie deficit. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, okay, yes, that's true. But, you can be in a calorie deficit and you still may not get abs. You might just be some skinny ass dude with a flat stomach. In order to get those muscles, those abdominal muscles, because your abs are a muscle, you have to train the muscles. So you have to engage those muscles. And, what better way to do that than sprinting? Because you're killing two birds with one stone. You're engaging your core, and then you're also losing weight at the same time. So I think that's the perfect combination. And people don't like that answer because, who the hell likes doing sprints unless you're an actual runner? So
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you that I want to be running at all, period, end of story. I don't want to be, my ass doesn't want to be swimming either, right? Like,
yeah,
you want to stay mobile, you can swim, but motherfucker, I don't want to swim. So I
yeah.
definitely get, I definitely get that. But I think it's interesting though that you say sprinting because of course, calorie deficit. Well, how do you have your car last longer? You fucking change the oil on time. Okay. Does
Mm-hmm.
that mean that you have to use this brand versus this brand? No, you're just given a situation that has worked for you, a modality that's worked for you to keep abs and build the muscle while also shedding fat.
Yeah,
And so, I mean, of course, nobody wants to do that when they see how
yeah.
much you're running.
Right. And a lot of it comes from like me seeing real life transformations. Like when I play football, the linemen, their whole objective is to bulk up, stay big, stay 300 pounds. But when you see a lot of these linemen, once they leave the game, they slim up quick. And how do they do that? Running, cardio. And, I know guys who I played with, they were 300 pounds when we played football. Now, they're 215 pounds, lean, just looking, like a Greek god. So, and they did that not through powerlifting, not through, waiting 2 minutes between each rep. It's sprinting, and it's high intensity sprinting, not taking too many breaks. And you don't have to be out there long, especially when the intensity is high. Hell, when I go to the track, most of my time is spent warming up and stretching. The portion of my time where I'm exerting maximum effort is probably less than 45 minutes. But like in the beginning, I'm doing dynamic stretches, and I get my warm-up laps in and all that. You're still exercising, you're still working. And then once you get into the heat of the workout, like usually I'll run between like 10 to 20 100 meters, and then like between like 4 to 6 200 meters. And that doesn't take long. It really doesn't. But it's full maximum effort for that 30 to 40 minute time span.
Mhm.
And you can really knock out a good workout in a short amount of time. And it doesn't have to be something where you're just like dreading the workout. So
Yeah. No, I think that makes sense. So when you're going like work rest, are you going 1-to-1, 2-to-1, 1-to-2? What does that look like when you're sprinting specifically? Because I know a lot of people don't have any damn experience with running.
yeah, so when you're sprinting, I like to run on the track because it just gives me an easier gauge of how I'm monitoring my rest, and I just sprint the straights, walk the curves.
Okay.
That's
Just
pretty
like
much it.
regular, just recovery walk. Like just keep moving. Don't
Yeah.
stop, but you're not like trying to like fast walk. You're just
Yeah. So I mean,
kind of walking.
yeah, when I'm walking the curves, hell, I mean, I'm gonna keep it moving, but I want to walk as slow as possible to get my rests in. But obviously, want to do it in a timely manner. So I'm sprinting the straights, walking the curves, um, and that's kind of how I break it down as far as like intervals.
Right on. And when you get to the 200s, so you're going a straight and a curve, and then you're
Hmm.
you're walking
The
back to
straight
that
and the
other
curve.
side, and then hitting
Yes.
the same side to do your
Yeah.
straight and curve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And you're doing that about once a week.
So I do so on Tuesdays I do sprint, so I do
Mm-hmm.
100 and 200s, and then I might do some stadium runs, and
Mm-hmm.
then Thursdays I do more long distance, so I might run like 5 or 6 miles on campus.
Kind of just at one sitting. That's your workout for the day. Get a little
Hmm.
dynamic warm up, then
Yeah,
get
yeah,
that run, and then you're good for the day.
yeah, yeah.
How long have you been doing
And
that?
I've been doing that since I graduated, since 2018.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, man. If I were to look at you, there's not a chance in hell I'd be saying that you'd be running twice a week, right? With the amount of muscle that you have on you, like the sprinting makes sense, but you're going to running 5 or 6 miles every single week
Yeah,
since you graduated college. What? I
yeah.
wouldn't have put that on you at all.
Yeah, it's because like when I'm going to the gym, I'm lifting so heavy
Mm-hmm.
that I think it's just my body is able to maintain that muscle, and I'm not like a lot of runners you'll see really skinny and whatnot. But when I started doing when I started running, I was already kind of swole. Like even when I was running track and field in high school, like I was already a lot more bulkier than my classmates when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to muscle mass. I'm not saying I was the biggest guy in my grade, but like as far as muscle mass goes, pound for pound strength, I always kind of was there. So when I'm sprinting and doing, power lifts in tandem and like kind of rotating throughout the week, uh I think that is what allows me to kind of maintain that muscle.
Hell yeah. Do you still deadlift?
Yes.
Do you
I
dead
don't do it as
stop or touch
much.
and go?
Say what now?
Do you dead stop? Do you stop in between each rep and then reset and pull off the ground? So every rep is a full pull, or you touch and going?
So it really just depends. Like I'll do with the hex bar,
Mm-hmm.
I'll do more touch and go. So, but like I'm doing a jumping deadlift. So I got
Yeah.
like 245s on each side, and I'm going down, then I'm jumping, then I'm going down, then I'm jumping, and then I might do a box jump after that. Like I kind of try like to incorporate multiple like I'll try and incorporate like my core lifts
Mm-hmm.
with uh with like more like aerobic stuff.
Is that really to keep it fun, to keep it novel, so that
Yeah,
you want to be doing it? Because ain't nobody
it
trying to sit here and deadlift 15 sets in a row.
yeah, so I
Hate
mean
that
it's
shit.
yeah, like it's fun, it's challenging, and like my whole thing is like when I'm deadlifting, I want it to help increase my vertical. So like what better way than to do jumping deadlifts and then go into a box jump? That's
Yeah.
just kind of my thought process.
No, it makes sense. So are you primarily doing hex deadlifts, or are you still doing conventional and sumo?
So I do a little bit of all three.
Mhm.
But I enjoy the hex deadlifts more. But like if I'm looking for, to go heavier, then I'll do like more conventional or sumo deadlifts. But usually when I am going heavy, it's more of just to kind of get a gauge of where I'm at.
Have an understanding of how strong you are today,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
kind of looking over time, like, am I up or am I down from where I think that I should be based on what I'm
yeah,
doing?
yeah, pretty much.
Right on. Well, I want to transition here and talk a little bit about you kind of stopped taking in-person clients, right? So you're
Hmm.
working out, you might have a partner in the gym, right? Whether it's your partner or it's someone else you're working with or what have you, but it seems like you kind of got out of the space of training one-on-one, and you dropped a course. Can you tell me a
Hmm.
little bit about the Elite D1 course?
All right, yeah. So I did drop a course. It is called the Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 Training Course. And basically, it's a course of over 3 hours of my workouts throughout like the past 3 or 4 years. And I'm pretty much just walking you through. I'm narrating every single thing. So, I have like a little promo video,
I saw it.
and
It's pretty cool on
yeah,
YouTube. Yeah.
yeah, it's like Dragon Ball Z themed and stuff like that. And basically, it's just like a step-by-step guide to become an elite D1 athlete. And doesn't mean you actually have to play Division I sports, but if you want to have the build, if you want to have the stamina, if you want to have the strength, the speed, it's all in there. The course is 2 hours and 19 minutes of materials, over 170 lectures, and there's 35 sections. So it's extremely robust. It's supposed to be a 30-day course. So like you can go boom, 30 days straight through. And I'm always running discounts. Right now it's $9.99. It's 86% off. The list price is about $70, but I'm always running discounts and just really trying to incentivize people to buy it. I mean, hell, I give it away for free as well too. I mean, if people just ask me. So like if you hit me up in the DMs, I'll give you a promo code. But I just really want people to kind of see how I've personally revolutionized my own training, because a lot of people will say, hey, I've been going to the gym, but it's just kind of getting repetitive. What can I do to switch it up? What can I do to spice it up? And, I'll just point them in the direction of the Elite D1 training course, because there's so many different workouts that I've combined through my experience with football, my experience with basketball. I've got like multiple different different sections in the course where the workouts are just so diverse. So that's really what I worked on in the Elite D1 training course. Just get that diversity of lifts, and also be able to prepare someone's stamina for a more elite level of training.
Yeah. Also, in your week 3 and 4, like in the little preview on the course, dog, there's so much volume in those days.
Yeah.
There's like 60 reps on
Yeah.
some of these exercises. And you ain't talking about little baby. We're not talking about push-ups, right? We're not talking about 60 push-ups. Some of
Right.
these things, like you want me to do 6x10 reverse grip pull-ups? Are you out of your
Right.
damn mind? I ain't trying to do no 60 pull-ups.
Right.
Sheesh.
But and the thing is, the reason why focus on like these high reps is because that's really what we did playing football. Like it's all about stamina and just being able to outlast the guy across from you. And I think people nowadays have lost that will to compete. Like nowadays, it's like, oh, a participation trophy. If you're in the gym, you're trying and you're good. But it's like, man, I want to be better than everybody. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that I'm a better human being than somebody, but I want to know that I put in more work than you, and I'm gonna be able to kick your ass in this workout, in this exercise. I'm gonna be able to last longer. I'm gonna be able to lift more. And then when I see somebody who is able to lift more and last longer than me, it motivates me. There's no jealousy. I'm like, dude, you're a fucking stud. What do I need to do to get like you? Or vice versa, somebody might come to me and say, hey, you're a stud. What do I need to do to get like you? Or what things do I need to do? And then there's also a recovery portion in the course, which I think is extremely important. Over 50 different stretches, sauna workouts. I
You work out in
mean,
the sauna?
yeah.
My God.
Yeah.
My
So
God. You're always
yeah,
working out.
yeah. So I'm really taking it there and really trying to push the limits of health and fitness and
Mhm.
and just being elite. Because I mean, if you do my sauna workouts, dude, I mean, you're gonna be a different animal. Like I got step ups in the sauna, like step ups to knee drives, squatting, box jumps in the sauna, resistance bands, just regular squats. I mean, it's pretty intense, but I mean, I love doing the sauna workouts because it's like that's why I got the Dragon Ball Z theme. It's like training in the hyperbolic time chamber, where like it's just like 10x gravity and extreme heat, extreme weather conditions. Like I just like to put myself in situations where I'm overcoming external factors, not just, okay, I'm physically tired or I can't do this weight, but it's 150 degrees in here. Are you going to pass out or are you going to keep going?
Yeah. No, I think that it's something we've lost, man. I think society as a whole, like we're handing out participation trophy. And I think, look, I'm the first one to say that I'd rather you be in the gym than not in the gym. Okay, all day, even if you're pussyfooting around. I'd rather you be here and doing something all day. But I do think that we have to, put a line in the sand and say, hey, the guy that's sitting here for 10 minutes between a workout because he's jerking off to OnlyFans on his phone in between sets or watching Pornhub or watching these e-girls on TikTok, like you're not doing yourself as good of a service as you could be if you would just put the damn phone down, have a plan coming in, and get to damn work.
Yeah.
If you did your work and you went home and then do whatever else you want with all your time. But if you actually cared a little bit more about when you were here, you could get a whole lot more out. And it's apparent that what you're doing when you're in the gym is dialed in, you're focused. Even if other people don't want to do exactly what you're doing, sweet. You're not showing up and then playing on your phone all day.
Yeah.
Right. That's not, I think that there's a big difference there. And I love that people are in the gym, but I don't think that that's it. I think that that's like, hey, that's what got you in the door, right? Hey, you get a piece of paper to say that you were here, but that don't mean that you won, right? That means that you got the attendance. You checked off your attendance, but what are you doing with it? So I think that that's awesome. It looks like you got 30 to 35 sections in this course.
Yeah, 35 sections. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So about how many years of experience is crammed into 2.5 hours?
I mean, I used to film every single workout. Once I graduated, I was filming every single workout. So, I mean, you got workouts from, I mean, you can even see the transformation in myself in the workouts where like in the beginning, I got short dreads. And then by the end, like my dreads are like to the length they are now. I mean, you've got easily over 3 years of workouts, like day-to-day workouts that I'm doing every single day. And I make sure if there is one repeat lift, it's probably either 1 or 2 repeat lifts. Every single lift in this course is different.
Something new, something novel,
Yeah.
something that somebody that's a beginner or is still already been in the gym. Would you say that it's kind of for both?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's really just about how you manage it yourself. So when you go through the course, obviously you're not going to be at the elite level. And that's why it's a 30-day course, because I want you to repeat it over and over and over again until you can do the workouts. Okay. Until you're able to, jump over the bar and do muscle ups and then come back and jump back over, or until you're able to do a 54-inch box jump. Or, you want to start small, start where you can as far as weight. That's why I don't do any weight recommendations per se. I just do like body weight percentage and kind of do it like that. Like I have a weight chart and whatnot where you can just like go based off of your max percentage. And but I don't say, okay, you have to do 200 pounds of 10 sets of squats or something like that. No, you do what you're comfortable with. So if you are, if you need to just do the squats with the bar, do the squats with the bar. But next month, you better throw some 10s on there. The month after that, you better throw some 25s on there. Month after that, 35, 45. I just want to see progress.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it seems robust, man. Seems like for even the list price at $70, right? You're giving people what a lot of coaches charge a couple grand for.
Yeah.
Right. You're giving people actually more information, more learning, more studying, more ability to implement and use forever, not cutting off access. Because it looks like right here, you got full lifetime access once they buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, $70, dude, even at full price.
Yeah.
that ain't nothing for everything that's in here.
Exactly. Because I wanted to be accessible. Because I just think that every time somebody goes to my Instagram or social media or even sees me in person, they're like, man, I've never seen anybody do workouts like you. And hell, I want to start seeing people doing workouts that I've done, and I want more people to get those compliments, because that's the type of thing that motivates me to continue. Like, man, I've never seen anybody do this, or how do you do that, man? Like, can you teach me? Or what do I need to do to be able to get like you, or get in a position where I'm doing this amount of weight, or I'm hitting my personal goals. And that's really my main objective.
Yeah. Do you we're gonna wrap here in just a second, but do you have anyone in your life that goes side by side with you in these workouts?
Yeah, so I used to work out with my cousin, but he moved to Atlanta. Now it's my brother.
Okay. So you got somebody that's there that's pushing you that you can push as well. So it's not, not lower
Yeah.
speed while you're by yourself.
Yeah, and I mean, my brother, he's just as athletic as me. He played college football as well, so we're definitely able to challenge each other in the gym, and
Oh yeah.
keep each other motivated.
Right on, man. Well, anything else you want to leave anyone with, or where they can find you, what they can look out for coming from you here soon? And I'll link to this program in the
Yeah.
show notes.
Yeah, so you can check me out on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Reclaim Your Throne, on all platforms. You can check me out on Twitter. If you want to kind of go back and forth and hear my thoughts. Twitter is, or X rather, is like now the Wild Wild West. So it's pretty fun getting into debates and all that kind of stuff on Twitter, like fitness debates, and then other pop culture topics and whatnot. So we have a lot of fun on X. But yeah, you can check me out, Reclaim Your Throne. Go get that Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course. Check me out on YouTube. Definitely, I give a lot of dating advice on YouTube. It's more centered on dating advice, and then my other channels are more focused on health and fitness. But yeah, I that's pretty much it. Like, wherever you can find me, and I just hope that this interview impacts somebody in a positive way and helps them to learn more about me, myself, and, helps them, maybe to motivate them to get off your ass and get active, get fit, and, really challenge yourself.
Yeah, man. Well, I appreciate you making the time. I'm gonna cut the recording there. Thank y'all all for listening. Don't go anywhere, Keaton. We're gonna hop off here.
All right, peace.